Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's 3 minutes to go. Just trying to have some people in. Yeah, we'll be starting up now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to make sure I start 2 on the dot so that people that we've told we're starting by 2. Yeah. Thank you very much. Omolara, my birthday mate, thank you very much for
You're most welcome, mate.
yes, ma'am. I think just a quick one. I'm very grateful. Thank you also, my classmates, Adedeji of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are starting at the dot of 2. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me. Yeah. Here we go. Share my screen. Okay. Sorry, please mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself if you are.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Let me just once again appreciate you all for coming. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. We have 2 DJ. We have 2 DJ in the house. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much. I actually planned to start by 2 and this is 2 on the dot. So can you please mute? Let me mute Adedeji of you. I think there is a background coming. There's a feedback from Adedeji.
Okay, I'm with you, Adela.
Yes, kindly mute yourself so that, yeah, thank you.
Who else do we have there?
Yes. All right. I need to. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, to some extent.
Can everybody hear me, please?
I can hear you.
We
You can
can
go
hear
ahead.
you.
All right. Because I saw there's feedback. I had to quickly mute the other stream that I was doing. All right. I think I'm not able to. I want to share my screen so we could just start away. Please just give me a second. I think because I'm streaming to YouTube, it's not letting me share my screen. Let me just quickly stop the streaming.
How much? And I honor that.
Wow. Today is the 7th of August. Actually, yesterday was my birthday and so many things happening around. Can you mute yourself? Okay. Let me mute Adedeji from here. Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. So I was saying that yesterday it was a quiet moment for me. I was home all day. I just did some reflection, did some thought-provoking. I asked, that was how I spent my day. I didn't go out. I was in the evening. I decided to go to just take a walk within our neighborhood. I've not been able to mute the YouTube streaming. I think the YouTube streaming is still, I need to mute. That's the YouTube. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to mute the YouTube link so we can have a perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen? Please, can you see my screen? Hello? Can you all hear me?
We can see your screen. We can see your screen.
You can hear me. Thank you very much. I just wanted to be
I hear
sure.
you.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Lara, thank you very much. So I'm just going straight to the teaching. I don't want to take our time. I was saying that yesterday was a time of reflection because I look at last year till now, and I look at some of the events that took place. You know, everybody know how it all went with regards to COVID and how the world shifted and everything was just. But with regards to that, notwithstanding, I was able to look at some decision that I took last year that kind of helped me into what I am seeing and who I am becoming. And when I look at that decision, I was able to sit down and said, okay, normally if you do birthday, you should expect people to give you gifts or send you what have you. This time around, I told myself, I'm not going to wait for people to give me gifts or to send me this or to send me that I'm going to look inward and see what has really, really changed in my life. What are those decisions that I've been able to take in the past weeks, going into months and going into a year that have really, really shifted my mindset, shifted my thinking and everything about my life till today. And I decided I would just do this. I decided it's going to come in threefold. This training is going to be free. I'm not going to tell anybody to pay for it or what have you. Even though from the look of things now, as everything is going, I have been able to see a trend, a part of me that when people notice something in you, they can identify a value. People are willing to pay. And I can tell you, buddy, that there are people that are on my list, on waiting list to be coached. So how did I arrive at this destination? How did somebody like me, who was a one-time 7 years failure, that every year going for 7 years consecutively, I was failing, who I would say everything about my life kind of starts late, or I'm always like the last person. You know, you can imagine getting married at almost 30 something, having your first kid at 30, almost 33. Can you imagine? Everything was just like, you are not always on time. Other people have gone ahead of you. Getting admission into the university, I thank God some of my colleagues in the university were able to join this call. Getting to the university after most of my mates that we finished secondary school together are leaving the university. You know, it was just a mixture of such things. So I told myself some of the knowledge that I have and insight that have helped produce the shift that I'm seeing in my life, I would just I decided to share it and teach my friends and just to rub mine together. And I need to do this disclaimer that I don't know it all. Don't you ever think I am there. But I have been on a journey to becoming who I have loved and dreamt to be. And I believe it's a pleasure for me to just share some of those tips to you. And whatever thing you are going on through in life at the moment, that you can always experience the best. And that as believers, I decided to do this. Why? Because I noticed the title of what I decided to pitch this talk is on. Who are those who win in life? My journey, 40 years of my life in Nigeria and coming into the States and seeing what is happening. I said, I'm going to sit down and try and logically examine what is the cause of why we are not winning and we are not reigning in life as believers. And this is the reason for this. This is the reason for this live broadcast. And I put here my expectation for you and I at the end of this training. I said, at the end of this training, I believe that you will feel so proud of yourself and you will have the confidence to step into action. Because by that time, you already know what to do. and how to do it, and where. That is where. That is in what sphere of influence do you want to do? And the reason why I'm saying this is because there is nobody who is a believer that will ever be able to expand your territory, do more for the kingdom, be more assignment focused without you being abundantly and graciously blessed with financial provision. It is going to be very, very hard to do. And if we want to see ourselves making God proud in that regard, you and I, we have work to do. And this is why I have decided to do this teaching. And so I'm going to be asking some questions. I want you to just feel free and tell me how, or you can just put it in the chat. What are those things you are seeing that is really, really making this true for you? And the reason why I'm saying this is because every time you notice something is working, I don't want you to believe that it is just natural, it is just normal. It's supposed to work. Because a lot of us, these are some of the things that has kind of bring us to a place whereby we just feel, oh, if this thing is working, then I don't need to know what is bringing it. So I'm here to show you who a winner is. And let me just put this link down so that we can see. Okay. How and why do people win in life? You know, look at all these things that I've put down. Sometimes our self-talk, when you see somebody winning, say that person, don't mind him, he's corrupt. I don't even know how he got his riches. And it's because they went to the best school. And sometimes you just say, oh, because they are the son of the pastor, or maybe because they are pastors. Or maybe, you know, what will be will be. It is time. It's just their time. They are well connected. Maybe their father left an inheritance for them. We have many assumptions and many well-made answers that we always give on how and why people win in life. But I want you to go through those things. Is it really true? Is there any formula actually that we can sit down and follow to have a good inheritance or to become a winner in life? Is there anything? I want us to consider that. So, because sometimes when we look at our journey and we see some people, seems like it's like they are lucky. These people it's because they are lucky. That's why they are winning. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. I have a premonition. I have an experience why I wrote while I was putting down this slide. That all the time that I happened to be failing in life, there was a particular point that I sat down and I asked myself, all these other people that are Christian, that we go to church, we go to school together, that they have got the admission into the university, what is happening? Is God partial? Or why are they able to get admission, you know? Why are they able to get themselves the needed they wanted? And I am here struggling. But that time, my understanding was not well thoroughly guided to know that this thing is actually, it goes more than what I'm saying. And that I really, really need to understand what it's all about. And so,
Sorry, Diola, we can't hear you again.
Hello. Hello, Diola.
You know, no, they never even. Now go watch. Chemist, you know that's a coil activator. If you want go, so go buy it.
Hey, I remember those days.
What is
Oh my God.
What did that?
Well, like,
Hello. Very sorry, everybody. I'm truly, truly sorry. I just don't know how I got out of the, I'm so sorry, of the chat, of the call. Can you hear me? All right, thank you very much. Very sorry, everybody. So I was saying before that short break, I was on this slide and I was trying to explain to you guys that time when I was going through all the, wow, okay, yeah. So these are the questions that was going on in my life that, okay, all these people that I am seeing in life, you know, these are some of the myths that I want us to reason to. I'm very sorry, everybody, please forgive me for that, please. So I look at it like if you are going to win in life, you must be lucky. Please, I just want you to put it in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay.
I hear you.
All right, thank you. I wanted to be sure that the audio is restored back. So this is one of the things I said, one of the things that I discovered that helped me, made that shift. about the way I was thinking then. You know, we always think if you are going to win in life, you need to be lucky. Maybe you are born into a rich family, like I was saying that time, or if you spend your time praying, you know, this different kind of prayer that we pray. People fast, you pray, and you do all those rituals. Maybe you go to night vigil, you go to all the what have you. By the time you do all those things, you are going to win. Or do you know this myth that if you're a Christian, you're already a winner? Even though I don't have any preference to that, there is a church that if you're a member of that particular denomination, automatically you're a winner, you know. People just call you a winner, and it's so funny. So we believe that you are just going to win. And this last point is just so funny that some of us kind of lay back in life. We just believe that we don't really need anything to do. Since we know we are going to heaven, we don't need to win in life. We just wake up and be your normal Christian and do the normal needful, and you are fine. But how true is this? How true is this? Let's see. Because I want you to also look at yourself and your present circumstance. I want you to mirror it with regards to some of these myths that we have, because this my own life. When I sat down and I was looking at it, these were some of the assumptions that I made. That if I go to church, I pray, I fast, I do night vigil, I make sure I am always at the programs. Anytime there is a meeting, I show up, you know, that automatically God is supposed to understand. He should bless me. The same thing, I should not struggle to pass my exams. God should at least understand. God should understand that I'm doing his work and I'm showing up every now and then. But that was not the case. That was not the case. I discovered that there is more to winning in life than to just assume that once we do all those things, because that will be the next reason why I asked that the Western world, they have the principle. We have the person of Jesus. Even with the person of Jesus, we don't kind of experience the success that they are having. Number one, when you look at the system here, you see laws and order and every other thing going on. And you can see an example of something that goes beyond what I have back home in Nigeria. Then that tells me if these people don't go to church, they don't pray, they seldom do any vigil or any of those things that I do. What is now making their life so simple, so straight, and looking so orderly? Then it tells me there is more to winning in life, or there's more to this subject than to just be claiming I am a Christian. And I want to challenge us that some of us that even know Dubai, or that I might maybe go through some of, or been to, or you've heard of so many beautiful edifices that is happening, or that they have there. And it happens to be a Muslim country. It is a Muslim country. So is God now partial? Is God partial? Or how can we explain that? That for the mere fact that those people, they don't call on God, but there are certain things that are going on in their life. It's a pointer to the fact that there are more things that we are not observing that is counting for those people that we are not having. And I said, you need to ask yourself that if it is true that everybody can win in life, these are the true premises that everybody can win in life. Everybody can win in life. But why is it that not everybody are winning in life? Then we need to know that winning in life, if it is not as a result of you being a church goer, then it means there are principles that are ingraded in life, in nature, in law, in everything around us that God expects us to pay attention to, that we are not paying attention to. I want you to imagine that this Bill Gates and all these guys that we all know, they are the top guys. They are not the how will I say it? They are not the you know, when you talk about prayer warriors, many of them, maybe they are not even praying. So you now imagine what is the thing that is working for them that is not working for us. So let me go to the next slide and show us why I decided to. Okay. Oh, no, I'm going to share my screen. My slide is not to share. Okay. Okay. Now let me trying to share again. Okay, let me go to the next slide. I'm sorry for. All right. Okay. Okay. So I was trying to define winning here. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay. This is where I was talking about. We know the person of Jesus, but we don't follow his principle. The Western world, they heed the principle, but they don't really know him. What does this statement mean? The logic here is that laws and principles that are making them to win, that believers need to pay attention to. There are laws and principles. And this is why I always look. Each time I see those people, I watch them, I observe. I observe. And for some time in my life, I stopped praying. And I was asking myself, Adiola, is it not that you are backsliding? I stopped praying. I stopped praying, doing all those religion. And sometimes, many of us, when we talk about religion, you know, I used to hear my pastor saying this, that stop practicing religion, stop practicing. I don't really know what it means until when I started gaining this understanding that to win it and reign in life, I want you to put it in the comments if you agree with this statement. To win and reign in life, you don't need to be a Christian. You don't need to be a Christian. And look at how the assumption is being answered. Do you believe? I want you to please put Lara Deji. Do you believe that to reign in life, you don't need to be a Christian? Do you believe? The reason why I say so is because the richest man in the world is not a prayer warrior. The richest man, the richest, whoever, whatever name of those guys that we know that they're. Do you know why they are able to do that? That is the secret we are unraveling. It is because there is something that God is doing, or else God will be partial. We can imagine God being the creator of the whole world and now saying, okay, Deji, because you are not a Christian, because you are not following me, I'm not going to give you oxygen. I'm only going to give you oxygen for 2 days out of a month. You know, it will sound as if God is partial. And if God is not partial, then why is it that those people that are not even spending time praying and worshiping God, they are having all the things that we look up to having? The secret is in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 22. If you look at that story of creation, God mentioned and God blessed them, and God blessed them. In those 2 verses that I highlighted, God blessed them, God blessed them. And that blessing, even though man fell, that blessing is still at work. So what does that tell you and I? It means winning, becoming a Christian. To what I want to explain now is, if you want to win in life and you want to make heaven, you have to follow Christ. You must become a Christian. You must be saved, and you will go to heaven. All these guys that we are mentioning, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all these top guys that we mentioned, they may not go to heaven because they are not saved, but they are winning in life. Can you see the difference? So I was able to now see that if we have more of these people doing such good, look at the platform that we are engaging together now. You and I, we are together on this platform because somebody, that guy that invented this app called Zoom or what have you, sat down. I don't even know if he's a Christian, whether he attends to, whether he has ever even prayed before in his life. But look at what he has used his mind to develop that is serving you and I today. And that is why I made this statement that you and I, we are wicked. If we are not contributing to our world as Christians, despite having the benefit and the blessings, if those guys that we label, they are non-Christian, they are unbelievers, they don't have the faith of God, they are not the best of what we have, if those people are making the best out of their seemingly cursed blessing, like we and I will put it, because we know what happened in the garden after the fall of man, even at that, they are still able to get things done. And that is one of the things I saw when I told you about the story of my failure in the past. When you ask those guys, how are they getting things done? So everybody can win in life, like I said in this point, that whether you're a pagan, you're an atheist, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, if you know and you walk on the principle, you hear some of them tell you, I follow my mind. And I'm going to answer this because I don't want to say a statement that is lopsided, like I'm trying to give credence to the fact that you don't need God or what have you. I'm trying to make us see that is God wicked? Is God partial? And we and I know already, we have already established that God is not wicked. It's not a wicked God that he will say, okay, because we are all made, we are all his creation. That guy that is a Muslim today, that guy we call pagan, an atheist, they are first and foremost the handmaid of God. And you can't write anybody off because we are all product of grace. Anybody can decide to come back to his reasoning, to becoming, to know who the person of God is in their life. So why even the present situation in our country, Nigeria now, vis-a-vis what I mentioned ahead with regards to Dubai, is a fact that those of us that believe in God are the ones that are not winning life. Look at when it is time for soccer. Some of you guys that you know much about sports, you know what's most happening in our country? We go and be praying. God, that match, by God's grace, Lagbara Olorun, I'm gonna win. We'll just be praying that we'll win. And what happened at the end of those things? It is the Europeans that will carry the cup. They will carry all the medal, what have you. That is telling you that it is more beyond prayer. It goes beyond just fasting. It goes beyond just going to church. There is a principle. And the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 2, I want you to take your time to read that place. That scripture says, as long as the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest will never cease. Please, I'd like you to just send message to some of our friends that got locked out that time that I was off. Can you just share and send message to them that I'm back, we are back. This is just, I will be making it short. I'm making sure that I'm not going to exceed the 40 minutes, 60 minutes stretch. Please kindly just message some of them that we are back. Thank you. So the only thing that you and I need to pay attention to, what are those basic principles that will make you and I to win? So the first principle that we need to know that is in the word of God that we are not paying attention to is whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a pagan, you're an atheist. If you sow 2 seed or 3 corn, grain of a corn, and you come back in 6 weeks, or in how many weeks does it take, or in 3 months, or in 2 months, you are going to harvest corn. You are going to harvest maize. Whether you believe in God or not, those are the things that we need to pay attention to. So that means every one of us must pay attention to what are those things that whether you do or you don't do. Because we are all human beings, we're a product of choice. You can decide to grow a corn, you can decide not to grow it. But you should know that any decision you make, there is a principle that is backing that decision, and you are going to get a result at the end of such decision. So these are some of the things I want you to begin to see. What are those things you have struggled to get in the past that you are thinking God is unfaithful, or that you are thinking God is not fair to you, that you deserve more? Or what are those things that you have complained in the past, that God supposed to have done for you and he did not do it, and now you want to believe that, oh, God did not do the right thing, and you are feeling that God is partial? I want to submit to you that. So let's go to the next slide. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Okay, now this is what I talked about religion. That how can you become a medical doctor? Like, because some of us, I want to use that principle that I just mentioned, that the life is based on laws and principle. That life is based on laws and principle. If the Asian world, if they are getting it right, if the Western world, they are having results and they don't know God, then it means they are paying attention to some principle that you and I have been ignoring. And I want to ask, this is one of the things that affected me, the waiting on God syndrome. If you want to become a medical doctor, I want you to answer the question, what do you do? Do you go to God and wait on God and ask God, God, please, do I want to become a medical doctor? Should I become a medical doctor or what? And this is one of the things that makes us to become a victim. It's called victim mentality. When you are unable to take decision by yourself, when you're always waiting on somebody else to validate anything about your life, I call it waiting on God syndrome. Many of us, we can't do anything unless we get our pastor's approval. And I'm not saying in any way to diminish, or there are places for that. And this is where I was saying the other time that the unbeliever, he doesn't have anybody to consult. He doesn't have a pastor. He doesn't have an apostle, a geo, or anybody to call. So now the fact is, he is just thinking, and this is where I want to say, if you are a Christian and you have been renewed, you have been saved, you have your mind renewed already, then whenever thoughts comes to your mind, you should know that if that thought is a good thought, it's a thought that is going to make your world better off, if it's something that is going to improve the lot of your world, make our society a better thing, then you don't need to still go and sit down and be waiting to act on those thoughts, to act on those decisions and those ideas. Because you know what happened? When we wait a long time, procrastination will set in. When you say you are waiting, while you are waiting and you refuse to take any step, then do you know what happened? Your religious mind will begin to tell you, I'm still waiting. And whenever, don't worry, God will do it. Don't worry. And you say you are forming a prayer chain. You are looking for somebody, a prayer partner, that the person should just get you, should be praying with you. Please, bro, be praying with me concerning this thing. You don't know that. You are the one that should make that decision. You should not wait. And please, from this day henceforth, let us stop praying the religious prayer that God will do it in His time. If it is His will, God will make it happen. It will never happen. The mountain of ignorance must fail in our life. If there's anything that is going to stop the virus of poverty, lack, want, and everything that we don't like in our life as a Christian, that thing is only going to take place when you and I stop hesitating in the place of decision in our life. We should stop it. And I want to now take us to this other aspect of this discussion that I want you to know. I want you to please check with me that we have been able to agree that if the richest man in the world is not the most, is not the best prayer warrior, if the people that the countries of the world that we even love to be, or we emulate, we want to be like, if they are not in any way even doing IVG, going to church, then we have agreed that there are principles that we need to go into, and we'll soon be going into those principles now. So what are the secrets to winning in life? What are the secrets to winning in life? I want us to go through Ecclesiastes chapter 9. That is where we're going to see some of the strips that I saw that is really, really important. 9, 10, and 11. And the first part of it, which is 10, it says, whatever your hand finds to do, whatever your hand finds to do, whatever. Are you seeing in that place that even though we are the type that says we want to wait on God to tell us this, when we go to God in prayer, do you know what prayer is? Prayer is supposed to be something that helps us to see and know what God is doing. And when you stay in that place of prayer, while you are there, ideas will be coming into your mind. You will be getting revelation. You will be getting thought, inspiration. And then those thoughts, ideas supposed to motivate you to get a transformation through action. But when we leave the place of prayer and whatever our hand finds to do with regards to our thoughts and those ideas, and we don't do them, we remain in the same state. And that is what is causing our lack and our poverty and everything that does not make our life beautiful as we desire it to be. So I want you to begin to see in your life and begin to pay attention to, if you have done everything, I want you to remember this story, please, I want you to admit some people. I think there are people, let me just quickly ask my assistants. Please admit people that are in the waiting room. Thank you. I want you to remember Moses. Moses was on the mountain 40 days. After he left, he got the idea, he got the strategy, he got inspiration and understanding. And those in that regard for us, inspiration, understanding, supposed to be something that will fuel us to begin to ask questions and getting ideas and going to seek knowledge on what are those things that I got when I was praying, going to research them out. And do you know what happened when he came out? He did the best job ever in building that temple. And so we have been able to see that when you know there is a principle at work, the first principle I'm sharing with you is to whatever your hand finds is diligent. It's called diligence. Diligence is the first principle I want to share with you with regards to winning in life. Whatever your hand finds to do it with your might. For in the realm of the spirit, in the realm where we are talking about of the dead, where you are going, there is nobody that will walk or plan, which means you need to walk here, you need to plan, you need knowledge, and you need wisdom. In this verse alone, he has x-rayed what you and I need to do to win in life. We need to be diligent, and our diligence has to translate in the way we walk, in the way we plan, in our knowledge and in our wisdom. I want you to, from today, do this exercise with me. Every time you wake up in the morning, I want you to see yourself as having $2,400. I want you to imagine yourself having $2,400 being handed over to you. If you are in Nigeria, you want to do the exchange and you want to do the calculation, how much that is. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Maybe it will be going to millions. But just imagine that in that 2,400, begin to track how you are spending it. Begin to strain how much of the time you leave to chances. Like when I mean to chances, once the day starts and you go through your phone and the children wake up, you just, so there's nothing you do again. Everything just go. You don't have any time of your day that is tracked to doing particular things that can help in your planning, in your knowledge, in your wisdom, in your depth and in insight into you doing some of those ideas you have gotten in the place of prayers. This is where the challenge is, that when every one of us seek God, we leave it at that realm. And that was me. When I was praying, I was reading, but every reading I was doing was not sufficient, And I established before now that God is not partial. God cannot be rewarding somebody that is reading 12 hours a day. And I am waiting for God, as in I'm bribing God with my attending church program to be able to be at the same level. And this is where I want to see that if you have two believers that are going to the same church, they go to church, they attend meetings, they are in the choir, they are doing all those activities, and somebody's life is working and the other person's life is stuck, then you begin to see, this will make it more clear to us that it means that actually the problem is not about God. That with regards to our winning in life, God has nothing to do again. We have established that because we are seeing other people that are not believers, they are getting the result that we desire to see, because we are supposed to be the one executing the kingdom agenda. And when we talk about the kingdom agenda, we cannot execute it fully when we don't have this thing called abundance. We don't have the financial capability. And how are we going to get financially capable we need to work on our knowledge, depth, and insight with regards to what our hand has found to do. I was reading the story of this guy that established this Zoom platform. It has been for over 10 years that this guy discovered this app, and it has been operational in the private settings of maybe people that needs this kind of setting, maybe the media world, but it's not to the general world. But in a space of a year, go and check what the data is saying with regards to the stocks, with regards to exploits that company has been able to do in space of a year. Diligence. Winning in life is being persistent and being hardworking. It is an all-round persistence to doing things smartly and rightly. And I want to come to this place whereby some of us, we are stuck at, we think we are hardworking. And these are some of the secrets that you need to see. That even though you can be diligent and you are hardworking, but hard work is not enough. If hard work is enough, the most hardworking people are not the richest. Why? When you get to a construction site and you see guys working in the construction of a house, of a building, of an edifice, and you see them like back home in Nigeria, when you see them carry the concrete, mixing all the sand, raising all the, those guys are hard work. You see them sweating like, but I want to show to you the 3 stages of work. We have mental work, we have the physical work, and we have the spiritual work. I've already in the previous slide I was explaining, when you do spiritual work, which is also good, there's nobody disputing the fact that you don't have to pray. In fact, this is supposed to be the hedge that we have over others when we now compete with them. Look at the state, and in the case of people that goes to do this marathon, or people that are, and when they are running, everybody that is doing that work, we expect that they have the fitness and they are already the best. Maybe they are even representing their country. Look at the Olympics that is going on. So the best people that you are seeing that are competing, they are already one of the best. And somebody still have to win. And if now in that state, you have already done your work, then the God factor will come to. Because the second verse of this scripture, you are going to see how we have misinterpreted it to our own harm. So I was talking about 3 levels of work. We have physical work, which when you see, you can see somebody being a gatesman, and you see somebody being a CEO or a manager, GM. But look at the difference, the mental work. The mental work. Ability to have your brain, your mind develop through skill, through practice, through research, through depth. This is where a lot of us are making a mistake. This is where a lot of us are stuck. We see so many people that we desire out of life, that we look at and we think God is partial, or we feel jealous about what we are seeing in their life. It is because in that area of our life that we have chosen, we have not refined ourselves. We have not become refined. We have not developed ourselves to the best. We have not exposed ourselves to the knowledge, to the depth, to the insight that we need to make us among those that will be preferred, that will be sought out for. And that is why you see that when they pay the GM, the gatesman, and the price they will, and I want to chip this thing in, that with regards to what the world, paying attention to where the world is going. And you see somebody working at McDonald's and is just accepting orders, taking the order on phone and asking you, what do you want and whatever. And between that person and somebody that is developing, somebody working in the IT, I don't mean that one profession is higher than the other, but look at it, in days to come, robot is going to be taking orders in eateries. I even read of a report that says back there in Japan that when you get to an hotel, it's a robot that will sign you in, that will log in. You know, you can imagine that level of skill, people behind them, and just somebody. So before you know it now, when you get to some of these eat out now, you just discover that it's going to be a machine that will be processing your order. That means if you remain in that level of skill, you are going to become, in a matter of years from now, that work will no longer be in existence. That level of skill will no longer be relevant to the world that you and I are living in. So we have to begin to pay attention to the skill that we need in our profession, in our sphere of influence, that is going to make us become shining lights to our God. And don't forget, I mentioned that every one of us, every time we refuse to develop ourselves mentally, we are telling God we are wicked. I'm not the one that wrote it. It's in the story of, the talent, the parable of the talent. It says, God told that man that refused to use the one talent he had. He said, you are a wicked man. And we are going to be making and depriving our world of the goodness of the gift and talents that God has given us every time we don't act, we don't refine, we don't convert, we don't discover our talent, we don't refine it, and we don't use it. So I want you to pay attention. Any area of your life where that is not working, think, am I applying mental? Am I doing mental work, or I'm just doing the hard work? The hard work, like just being on the treadmill. You see a treadmill, you keep moving, it seems as if you are moving, but you are going nowhere. A lot of us are on the treadmill in life that we are just busy, but some of the things we are busy on, they are not the main thing that are needle movers that can make the real change that we need to see, the development and the transformation that we seek in our lives. And that is why there was a time a program was hosted in Citadel Global at the Lateran Assembly, former Lateran Assembly. And during that program, that's my church back home, and all the people that were invited, they were skillful men and women in the marketplace. So they were not speaking the spiritual, and I was noticing that, why were these people invited? Why were they the people that are in the invitation list as guest speaker? Why? Which means every one of us can equally distinguish ourselves in any area we find ourselves. And it is our gift that will go and locate us, that will make somebody to begin to recommend us. So we have to continue to work on our mind until we develop it. When the Bible talks about renew our mind, many of us think we only need to be reading the Bible. We think everything about our mind renewal is only in the Bible. That is why I'm asking, if you want to be a doctor, will you only be reading the Bible? You have to go to the medical school. You have to train. You have to refine yourself. You have to read, giving the hours. That is when you become the best, and then you can be able to represent and beat your chest that you have been well trained. So every one of us must go for skill. No matter what, this is what is going to distinguish us in days ahead. Let us not only engage in spiritual work alone. Now let's go to the second aspect of that verse, which is verse 11. I have mentioned that the first skill we need to develop with regards to our winning in life is for us to do what? To be diligent in work, in whatever we do. Verse 11 says, I have seen something else under the sun. It says, the race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor does food to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happens to them all. I must confess before I go to this verse that I'm guilty. Every time I read this Bible, I always interpret it, the religious mind, the religious screen of mine, always believe that you don't need any of these things. You don't need to be swift. You don't need to be brilliant. You just need to believe that it's only God that will make it happen. It's only God. But that is the link that I want to connect to how we can develop ourselves and deliver ourselves from this ignorance. Because every area of our life that you see is not working, just know that there is an ignorance existing in that space. And until you beam the light on that aspect, and this time around, when you talk about beaming the light, it doesn't really mean you praying. It means you taking action by looking for who are those people that are getting results in these areas. Who are those? And that was one of the things that I did to myself. When I was failing, I decided to be a loner. I don't talk to people. I will withdraw. I will hide from my friends when I see them passing, because I don't want them to know I'm still at home. I've not gotten admission. When I now told myself that, come on, these people that I'm now retaking exam with, we are in the same class and they are passing, then it means something is wrong. I need to come out of my shell from hiding and go and seek help. I started joining. I'm no longer looking at them as these people. They are my second band mate. They are my 7 years junior. Who am I to just go and be sitting with them and be talking with them? I humbled myself. I started asking them to be teaching me, to be explaining to me. One of those things, I went for knowledge and I saw the difference. And so I want us to look at this verse critically. You know, if let's say I have this thing now, I don't know if you can see me. If I have this thing for a grab now, if I have this thing for a grab, and let's say 4 of us are in this room with me, and I'm going to throw it up and I'm going to ask the first person that is able to grab it. So look at it. The person that is going to grab this object from my hand, that person must be very what? Be very swift, be ready to jump at it, and be ready to grab it. Then what does that mean? It means every one of us that are in this room with me, we are in the same timing. The timing is right. This is the time for you to grab this thing. And everybody have equal chance. We are all together in this room. So it's not that somebody is outside and the rest are here. So time and chance is equal. Now, who is going to get this thing in my hand? He is the swiftest and the fastest to grab it. Immediately I throw it. But where I happen to have the problem is, I don't know that the chance and the time that we all need, first and foremost, even in the case of being an athlete, is that you must be swift. You must have trained. You must have developed yourself. That is why when you see the athletes, when they are going to run, they are not just going to pick somebody that is as big as like this as I am, and going to run with those people that are very fit, that have been competing, because they have already met the underlying discovery, the underlying what have you, that everybody must have foundation. You must have it. And that is where wisdom comes in. And what you do with wisdom matters. So if you are strong, the only way I can know you are strong is when you deploy your strength in the right thing. And so, you see, and the reason why I'm saying this is that, you know, we say when we are in church and every one of us, we listen to the same word, we happen to go to church and the pastor says, you are blessed, you will make it, you will have it. And every one of us leave the church and we are back to our individual self. Our winning, what takes us to win? And they're telling us this is the age of the digital revolution and everybody have what it takes to win. And you and I, we know this is a timing for us to win. And you, when you get back home, you are not making use of the digital world, the social media space to create, to sell yourself, to introduce what you know how to do. You are only consuming. You only go there to see the latest fashion. What is this woman even doing? Her own is too much. Look at the girl, she's wearing it again. Look at her. What is she wearing? You are only going on Facebook, Instagram. And when you look at the income, how much of your 24 hours you have spent it wasting it on what is not going to bring back value. This is one of the areas whereby we are shortchanged in life. That if you are going to be winning life, that those that win in life, they are those people that are fast in taking action. With regards to this thing, if I have thrown it, the first person that is very fast and swift to grab it is the person that will have it. So when we see the social media as a world now going through the explosion that is having there, how are you using it? How best are you using your wisdom to make it, to turn it to a strength whereby that thing is being used? Like, look at me now. I didn't read journalism. I didn't go to mass media or what have you. And when I wanted to start doing YouTube last year, I always give myself the excuse, I don't know how to talk. The first video I did, when I listened to myself, I said, I'm sounding like a guy. Is this you? Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody. And I was just sounding, I didn't believe that this is me. I'm like, Diola, you better don't deceive yourself. This is not, look at those people that talk, their mouth is sweet. And this is where I want to challenge you, that this is the time for action. You will keep complaining. I know I can speak better than that girl. Look at how she's even, I'm even sorry for all the mess up that happened during this broadcast. But do you know that there are many of you out there that are very eloquent, that even knows the accent, you know, the dictons. You can do all these things more than I am. But I just noticed that since the day I read that parable of the talents, I used to see myself as not the one talent guy. I used to believe that I'm doing well in church. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I didn't know that I'm just deceiving myself. And until my eyes got up, and I want to challenge you and I, if you're a married woman listening to me this afternoon, I want to challenge you. A lot of us have used the excuse of us being married, of us becoming mothers, to stopping us from utilizing the gift and calling of God in our lives. I want you to ask yourself this question. Before that man came into your life, before those children started arriving, do you remember what those passions that were burning inside of you? Do you remember those zeals, those desires that you have told yourself? I remember those days when we were in the school leavers fellowship. I used to pray, I want to be the catechumen of my days. I used to see myself as not a pastor. I said, I don't want to, everybody is just becoming pastor. I don't want to be a pastor. I just want to be different. Even though I don't know how I was going to do it then, but inside of me, I don't want to be a pastor. But then, now I know better that don't ever commonize anything you have. I used to tell myself, I don't know how to talk, I don't know how to speak, I don't have diction, I don't have accent, I'm not speaking like an American. But do you know that the day I got delivered from that was the day I attended a program on a Facebook, and we were told to just talk for 2 minutes. And in that gathering, it was hosted by Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins happened to be one of the top 10 personal development coach in the US and what have you. And in that group, when I finished that video, I started seeing people chatting and saying, oh, I love your vibe, I love your energy, I love your passion, I did not know. I was saying, even the whites, so they can respect. So me that I used to think I don't know, that was the day my deliverance came. That I should never limit your giftings and your callings and everything that God has put in you. Don't you ever think those children are in your life now, they are going to leave. A time will come when they will be 18 or before they are 18, if they happen to go to boarding, they will leave the home. And you don't want to be empty. And you don't want to get into 45 and into 50 and you are alone in the house and you're just wishing and you are looking at yourself. How did I spend the 40 years of my life that now I don't have the strength and the energy to pursue my passion, to pursue those things that brings me to life? Because you think serving those children is the only thing you are supposed to do. I want you to know there is a phase, and that phase will also go. And you must be positioned to begin to see how you manage your $2,400 in a day to give attention to things that will help you live your life, your married life fulfilled. And that is why you see some people are married. Even the husband can give them all the money they need in this world. They are not fulfilled. Because it is not only money that sustains marriage. It's not only money. If you are not living every day doing what you love, you are just being saddled with responsibility of taking care of the children. When a time comes, you are going to be bored. So we need to begin to see how we can begin to harness the chances and the timing we have now to the best of whatever God has put inside of us, and never give excuse and stop ourselves becoming busy in things that are not needle movers. And what are needle movers? Needle movers are the tasks, are the daily tasks and plans that you put in your day that will help you and push you towards what your end goal is in life. So start taking those small. I remember the first broadcast, I just did it. I put my phone and I just recorded and I just put it. I said, well, anyhow. And till today, you can see just that decision between last year, May, and now it's over a year. So I want to challenge you. Don't see. So I use that example to help you validate the fact that wherever you are placed, if people can see what they want in you, if they can sight it, if they can just get a glimpse of it, they will follow you. And you know the reason why you are doing it. It is not for the following, because that is why you see some people, some celebrity, you just keep following them because you need to know what is it that they are doing that is making their life getting that result. Not just following blindly. Like we have, when you see a musician now that is reigning now, people just started following, you just start to follow. Everybody is following what? It is time for you to change your sphere. If you have friends around you that they are not motivating you, they are not spearing up, they are not steering up your willingness to become the picture of who you're supposed to be. It is time for you to change that sphere. Maybe their duty in your life, they are stopped. There are friends in your life that once they have fulfilled their purpose, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to understand that their roles in your life is ending and you have to move on. Look at us, different spaces. There are friends that we are in this call. I have friends from my secondary school. I have friends from my university. I have friends here where I stay. Some friends that I have mixed with. But do you see now that in different spaces of our life, our friends will change. And that is why you really need to now begin to change your sphere of friendship to those people that are really, really helping you to get into the future that you have given. And I need to tell you, if you are the smartest person among your spheres of friends, it is time for you to change that room. If you are in the room and you happen to be the only smart person in that room, in short, it will not be long that you will be forgotten. Because those people, they are going to drag you. Just like an edit that says, Olowo kan láàrin àwọn òtòṣì is going to be the next one. So you need to surround yourself with what? People that are smarter than you. People that will help you to think fast, to act fast, to take decision fast, and not be hesitant with regards to decision making. Our decision making process needs to be firm, need to be clear. This is what I want to challenge you with. So when you begin to do that, you will begin to see that their knowledge will rub on you. Their insight will rub on you. And you will begin to see the change that you desire. So what are those things you need to do from now for you to begin to see what you need? You must accept responsibility for your life. Stop the blame game. You know, when I was growing up, I did not get to live with my father. And so anytime I see some people that they are more, they are wise, they are genius, I was saying, it's because I didn't live with my two parents. Maybe if that time my father will have been teaching me what I'm supposed to do, I forget that excuse. It's because I didn't attend boarding school. All my siblings, they went to boarding school. That's why they all passed. Leave that excuse. Seek help. Locate where the problem is in your life. Do an X-ray of your life. Tell yourself the truth. You know, there are times we tell other people the truth. We know how to really give people constructive criticism or even destructive criticism, regardless of whichever it is. But I believe in the constructive criticism. You are very good at giving people critical feedback about their life. But how good are you in turning the mirror back to really, really seeing yourself and telling yourself the truth? I'm vulnerable before you guys. I'm sharing my shame. Everything about my life, I was just looking. It's like everything about my life was just late. But today, after 40 years of just wasting, going around in circles, I now have understanding of what it means to truly live. So share your shame and seek help. Look for people, seek help. And when I say seek help, don't go to somebody that is divorced now and you are getting to marry. You know, you cannot go to the person to be giving you the advice on how to live your home, how to manage your home. It won't be the best. You will want to go and look for somebody that is already getting results in that area that you are seeking help. Those are the people you will need to go and ask for. And be decisive. Don't be hesitant. Make sure you work on your decision-making process. Make sure you work on it. Be assertive. Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no. And I want to say this with regards to decision-making process. Some of us, because of the past inferiority we have suffered and maybe victim mentality, when it's time for us to take decision, we are always laid back. We are always waiting on somebody to come and validate every step we want to take. No, I'm waiting. I want to ask whether somebody. No, from today, please. When you make a step, when you do it, like my first video, I will ask somebody, I even don't know how to place the video. I was placing it this way, and somebody had to tell me, if you're on YouTube, this is not how to place your phone. You have to put it, when you start taking the first step, making the process, taking the action, you will see people that will call you and tell you, wait, Adeola, see, this thing you are doing, this is how it's supposed to be done. And that is the beauty of life. You begin to see people that will be guiding you and be showing you how to, before you know it, you are getting there. Act fast. The next point I want to share with you, with regards to the secret to those people that win in life. You remember I talked about those people that do what? Diligence in whatever you are doing. I also talk about those people that act fast. Your ability to take time and season, and not just believing that it is God that will make time and time to form. Every time you don't take decision, every time you don't make use of opportunity around you, you are living your life to chances, and you may not really be getting out of time. And the third thing that I wanted to mention with regards to that is only those people that are fight. They are those that win in life. People that win in life, they are fighters. And many of us, when I show you the portrait of a lion, and if you look at, you can just visualize the picture of a lion. Look at a lion, those portraits and those attributes of a lion. A lion does not run away, does not turn back from any animal. And some of us, we are just the quiet and gentle, easygoing, easy believing Christian, hey, bro, sis, God bless you. And when it comes to winning in life, we don't know that we need to take that attribute, that portrait of our God, becoming like lions, not allowing our rights to be trampled upon. Look at Jesus, our portrait and our good example. When he had to act in the temple and he has to use the whip to send people out of the temple, what part of Jesus was that? So I want us to see that when we talk about everything about the scripture, everything is balanced. The only thing we are doing is we are not applying the right lens to see the truth about the word of God. That the word of God is just so fair and is balanced, and it is fair to all, that every one of us that apply ourselves to it, we are going to get the desired results. He says from the time of John the Baptist, he says the kingdom of God suffers violence. And many of us, when we talk about that verse, we only talk about praying, and doing all this gymnastics. Only the violent, those people that are willing to take on. I was listening to a documentary about Zach, this guy, this Facebook guy, and how all the exploits he did back then in the college, how he was very fast and smart, and he did all those things to getting to where he was today. Even though I am not subscribing to us just being selfish and wanting everything only to ourselves, but there is a place you need to get out of your comfort zone. Bring out the lion in you. And that is why sometimes when people call my surname anyhow, my last name, I tell them, if you know the meaning of the name, you know why I always want to correct Atekoja. We are warriors. We go into the battleground to fight what belongs to us. We take hold of it. And we are not looking back. We are not receding until we get it. And this is the mindset we need to begin to play ourselves to become who God, the word of God that says the world is waiting for us. And we are waiting on God. That the whole world is in darkness. They are in this chaos. They are waiting for our manifestation, for you and I. And we are sitting down waiting on God to tell us what to do after we have finished praying. And the world is using their mind. The guy out there, your neighbor, that guy you are calling an unbeliever, that guy that is releasing that music, and you have the best voice that in church, people comment your voice, they comment on you, and you are not taking any step. Do you know why we are slowing down what God's supposed to do? And if the whole world is full of people like you and me that will refuse to walk and act, how will the world be in 5 years from now? Look at everything on you, everything in your life, everything in your home. Somebody made it. If there's anything you are going to take away from this call, as I'm rounding up, I'm sorry, I've visited the 1 hour, the 60 minutes spread I decided to. If there's anything you take away from this, please remember, there's something you have in your house, in you, that God has given to you. You are not giving it attention. Many of us need to quiet all the noise around us. So many working, busy bodies, and we are not getting any result. We need to come and sit down. You need to lock yourself up. And that is the place of prayer that I said, lock yourself up, not outside of every noise, so that you can hear your voice. You can hear that inner voice. You can hear you are able to see and you can focus on making concrete plans to seeing what are the priorities, what are your parents' current priorities in life supposed to be, and how are you going to stage it, plan it, so that you can accomplish it. Because any action you take today is already a decision. In 5 years from now, whether your life is going to change or it's going to remain the same, it's going to be a function of whatever decision you take today going forward. Because every action, every inaction is also an action already. And that is just where I want to tell us, please, I want you to eliminate, identify every excuses you have given to yourself. And one by one, okay, this is my problem. I always procrastinate. Anytime I'm given a task, I don't always want to do it. If this is your problem, identify it. I'm always full of fears. If you have fear, look at where the fear is coming from. Is it as a result of competence? Is it because I'm not competent enough? Because when you see somebody saying, I don't know how to talk in the public, I don't know how to speak in the public, the first thing you need to overcome is the fear of you not being prepared. How many of us remember when we are writing an exam and you have studied well? I know some of my guys, my friends back in school, that they are really a few way. You know how you will be sitting confident that if the examinator is doing honor, your post alone is showing them that if they mess up, you are going, you know that posture. You are confident. That is the kind of confidence you need. So as I am also talking like this, there are different series of communications that I also have not gotten to. But I am in this level and I am working on it every day. So can you see that because I identify what is causing my shyness and my inability to come to the camera to speak, is because I don't have what to speak. The first time I did it, I forgot most of what I wanted to say. But when I started giving myself to practice, starting practicing my line, reading it, explaining, sometimes I go for a walk and I'll be talking to myself. I'll be doing as if I'm talking, I'm preaching, or I'm addressing people, and I'll be walking like that up and down. I'll pray a lot. I was just doing those things until I am able to get to this state of me you are seeing, and I'm still I'm a work in progress. And so I want you to identify that fear, that problem you have, and locate if it is something that has to do with skill, have to do with you getting the knowledge, the insight, then go for it. Go back to school. Go back to school. Go back to those people that have those results that you're looking for. And that is why you need a community. You need a community. See, everything I've been able to do today is because I every time go back to that community of people that are doing what I love to do. I'm seeing them every day. I am reading about somebody says, I am seeing what this one is doing. It's encouraging me every day not to do what? Not to lay back and not to give up and say, oh, I don't know, I'm not motivated. You are not motivated. Nobody is going to motivate you. If your why is strong enough, you will get yourself up and start doing it. Look at all the problem. When I look at myself, I remember those days that sometimes there won't be money. Let me tell you this story. One of the reasons why I did this story, I happened to see my father is an Alhaji. He's a staunch Muslim. If you go to his house, you will see a mosque right as I'm talking in his house. Very staunch Muslim. And I happened to get to know him and live with him after I have finished my university. Consider that. And the first time I was able to live with him, I had problem with regards to going to run an errand for him that has to do with money. And that money got stolen. And I was done. I was thinking he's going to accept my small explanation that between Ogba and this, the money got lost. When he got back from work and he asked me, what are those money, where are those stuff? I told him I misplaced the money and what have you. As I am talking to you, there are some of my friends on this call that were my saving grace at that experience. Today, my father and I, we are good friends. We are, in fact, thank God for the grace. I've been able to even do more than then. Now, he sent me packing from his house. Imagine you just got to know your daddy. You are just going to live with him. And then you see the plight of a nursing mother. I'm here talking to you. And you're hearing somebody talking in the background. I'm sorry. So, and that day in my life, I left that house. I was living in a well-furnished house alone. I think I've arrived because my daddy is well-to-do. I left that house that night. He told me, he gave me 48 hours to go and get the money. If I don't have the money, I should not come back to his house. I thought he was joking. When he got back, I saw that it was real. I left the house. and I had to go and source for that money. I had to start going to my friend's place. And one of my friends that I was in her house, that I went to Scott, she's even here on the call. I begged her. I could not even tell her the truth that my father sent me out. She was just wondering. She knows my father's house. She will be wondering, but I was not able to tell her the whole truth. That story. I left that house with the help of my mom. My mom is also on this call. God bless her. I appreciate her. She was able to send me some money with my friend, Yemi. She borrowed me that money. I paid the money back because it happened to be a salary for the school that I had then. And after that incident, I just noticed for the first time that I have been betrayed. That you can imagine what will happen to you if you have a father you have been longing to live with, and you eventually have the opportunity and it was short-lived. I packed my stuff out of the house because the school was vacating and I had to go and serve. I just used that to leave the house and I went to start living with another family until I went for my service here. I left that house with that decision that no matter how tall your father is, you must grow your own height. And that if that man is not a Christian, it's not a born again. At that time in my life, I've been born again, baptized, spirit, soul, tongue lashing, and that didn't happen to me. I have to tell myself there is more to my life. I need to go and work on myself. That this man, I will not wait for his riches to become somebody. And I will not have to depend on him. I have to go and work more myself. And these are some of the reasons why I cannot stop talking. Because that decision I took that time is one of the things that is informing who I am today. I was hungry for a change. I know there's something that must happen to my understanding of who a Christian is and how I can shift to becoming the best and the brightest that my God will be proud to showcase me. And so I want you to begin to see that if you have a strong why, I say that to say this, you have a strong why, you have a family, you have children that you don't want them to go through all your own plight. You don't want the predicament that plagued your childhood to be repeated in their own life. Then you want to go out of your way and do more than you are doing and get out of your comfort zone and shake yourself. And I promise you, there's a community here that you can always join. That together we can do this together, that we can help each other, we can lock our hands together and we can help each other grow. And this training that I did today is going to be an ongoing one. And I look forward to having you. And I just want to say that I have a link here. I'm going to quickly put it in the chat. I want you to put down and go and fill the form there so that I will get to reach out to you on the next training that I'm going to be having. And one of the training that is passionate to my heart is with regard to mothers. I just look at how can you overcome the inertia of motherhood. You know, that thing I said in passing, that if you're a mother and you have a career and you have kids and you have a husband to take care of, and in that space of your life, you think you are done and everything is okay. And I look at people back here, they just feel, okay, the children are already in school, you don't have anything, you just relax. I want to tell you, that is not the next phase of your life. I will be willing to guide you on how you can begin to take a decision to become the best of who God has made you, so that when those children leave, you are not going to lose your cool, you are not going to lose your vibrancy, and you are going to become relevant, you are not going to be useless. That is what I have for you. So let me put this in the chat. This form will just help me to be able to get back to you on our next training session and to invite you. And I also have a bonus also in the chat. The bonus is a kind of short ebook that I did on a subject on how you can fast track your success in life. Those are the two things that I have for you to go ahead and do. I just don't know if anybody have questions. I have spent more than the time I decided to. Please, 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 let me know if there's any question in what I have said. In everything that I have shared, I will just be able to take maybe one or two. And if there is no question, I want you to just put in the chat your feedback, whatever. I want to be sure you have the link in the chat box. Let me just check. So I want feedback. This is time for question and feedback. I don't know if I'll be able to do justice to what I did. I don't know if there is any area of what I've shared today that is not yet clear, or do you really feel the need? And do you understand this subject? Or what are the things, what are the shifts in mindset that occurred during the training? I just would like to have, you can unmute yourself if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat. I'll be willing to answer if there's any. And I want to say a big thank you very much for every one of you that stayed to the end, not minding all the small disruption that I had during the course of the call. I'm so grateful to you. Very, very thankful that you honor me with this. And this is one of the beauty of what I am learning, that when you are celebrating your birthday, a lot of people celebrate birthday, and it's good to celebrate, but look at what you can give. And that is why these people, when you see people that are givers, they don't lack. This is some of the principle. When you see people here in the US, they are full of philanthropic work, they give, they have understood something. And I look at myself, I say, if I don't even have anything to give, I have knowledge, I have some understanding that I've gotten. Let me just, even if it's one person that will show up, I was just going to tell myself, even if it's one person, I will still teach what I know. And I believe that I've been able to do little justice to what we shared today. So let me check if there's anybody that has any question in the chat. If there's any question, let me see. Thank you, everybody. I'm so grateful. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you, Fumilola Adeniran. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. She was my landlord for days when I was thrown out of my father's house. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Wow. Oh, I'm seeing the question. Somebody asked, how do I eliminate distraction? Oh, that is the link to the form. Please feel free to go to the form and just put down your names and the details so that I can always message you. And there's a community too, which is a Facebook group, and I will be adding you to it so that we can grow together. So go ahead and fill that form. We can always grow together. You know, some of the time, some people, sometimes when we want to do, we know what we want to do. We just need somebody to just push us, to just give us a nudge, just to just mention just one word. You don't even know. Maybe that is just what you have been waiting for. Somebody will just mention it. So please go ahead and fill the form. And then the bonus also is on the link also. So please go ahead and fill it. Yeah, let me check the question again. I saw a question that somebody asked. I'm going to round up very soon, please. Thank you very much, everybody. Let me go back to the question so I can quickly. Thank you, Pastor Olu. Pastor Olu, thank you very much. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Biswell. Thank you, my mom. She's there. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Devotion. Now, so, okay, Lodeto Think Media is my YouTube channel. That is the YouTube channel. I will also put the link. So let me quickly answer that question as I round up. Okay, thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you very much, Remy. Now, when it comes to distraction, I want you to notice this. I want you to notice this. I'm going to give an example. I want you to take it to heart. I want you to imagine, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend games back then in the school. I want you to imagine yourself to be a guy, and there is a girl, a lady that you have been wooing, that this girl, hey, oh my bashani, oh, she must take by force. You know, I want you to imagine that for a second. I want you to imagine somebody else, like a friend, calling you and telling you, but dear, kilo share, come and see somebody else here, that come and see another lady that I've gotten, or see this girl, she's this, she's that. At that moment, your eyes is on that lady A. I don't know what you see in the lady A that got you fascinated to her. You will see that nobody can distract you out of her. Nobody. Every time, if you have class, you will make sure you fall into her group. If you are going home, you will make sure you enter the same bus that she's going to be inside. If you are going to the dormitory to go and eat, you will quickly make sure you run and make sure you are in the group of people that you will just make sure that nothing can get, you know, that for every one of us that are married, that are men, or vice versa, you know that, you know all what effort you put into before you got that woman that is in your house now, you know. So the same way with regards to distraction, Every time you are distracted, it's because you have not found what you want. It's because you don't know what you want, or you have not really gotten clarity. If you have the clarity, you know what you want. Once you see it, nobody can talk you out of that thing. Nothing can talk you out of it. I want you to note that. So that's number one thing. So once you see who you want, you like, this is it, then your eyes is going to be focused. You will discover that everything about you are thinking about that girl. When you are thinking, everything about you is thinking about, and that is why I mentioned that you must have a strong why. When you don't have something you are living for, you get distracted. Every other people's agenda become your own agenda. And that is why I said, whenever you wake up in the morning and the first thing you reach is your phone, that is the greatest distraction that the world has invented. In fact, this generation, sometimes when I look at my kids, sometimes I will shake my head. I say, the world has never had this distraction till now. Now, when you know what you want and you are focused on getting it, every other thing they bring ahead of it, if you have this, your focus is in getting this thing. If I bring any other thing in front of you, will you look at it? You will not pay attention to it because your eyes is already focused on, I need this girl, say, I must to marry her. This babe, she's not escaping. The same thing with our life. Every area of your life, you are noticing distraction. You are experiencing distraction. It is because you have not located what you really want and having a strong why backing that decision, that thing you want. Once you're able to locate the strong decision that I want my children to have choices in life, I want to live life at my own terms, I want to make sure that at 50, at 60, I'm not running around looking for a child to bake me, to bail me out. I want to be financially secured. I want to have financial security. When you have a strong why, that is the thing that will be propelling you into motion. That is what will propel you. That is what will spur you on. That is what will keep you moving regardless of what is happening. I hope I'm able to answer that question. Yes, this session is recorded. It's live on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel. It's live. Yes, it's live on Lodeta Think Media. Yes, so I think I've answered the question that I saw. Yeah, I think so. That's the form. That's the link to the form in the chat. Thank you very much. And this is the other link for the bonus that the bonus. That's the free gift for every one of you that stayed to the end. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much, everybody. This is where I'm going to be calling it a day. I don't seem to see any question. Thank you, Mr. Ajewale. Thank you, Mr. Adeniran. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ade Rosie. God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Lara. I think that is all. I didn't see any question again. Please feel free to reach out to me. I will get back to you on the next session, on the next time. Yeah, I will get back to us. Please fill the form so I'll be able to have your emails. I'll be able to send a bulk message to you all, informing you the next time, and then also to add you to the group. And if you don't mind, I'll add you to the Facebook group so that we can together begin on a journey that we can help each other grow and become and get fulfillment in life, because it is not only about riches. Some people here in the state, they have all the money, they are committing suicide, they have all the things some of us are looking for, but they don't have the peace. They have spent their life to work hard for money, and they saw that all what they work for is not the real thing. Can you imagine you running after shadow, running after this thing, thinking this is the real thing you want, and you getting it, and it's like you wasted all your years chasing after what you really did not want. This is the time for us to begin to search inside, beam the light inside, and look for who we really want, what we really want, and now we can begin to find a path to getting it. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you for Lakari. That's the first woman that I got to coach. When I just did something like this, as if I was doing a child play, and she reached out to me that she would love to be trained, she would love to be coached. And with the space of that time till now, because of time constraint, I've been able to do one-on-one for 5 different people. I'm so grateful. So I want to use that to challenge you that you never know until you start. You never know what something can bring until you start. So I encourage you to go and get yourself the needed skill, get yourself the right friendship and the needed association. And with this community, together, we are going places for our God. Amen. Thank you very much. As rounding up, I want to just ask that Pastor Olus, I want you to unmute. I don't want. Let me see if Pastor Olus is here. I don't know. Pastor Olus is. I'm not seeing. Okay, I think he has left. Thank you very much, everybody. I think he has left here. Thank you, everybody. This is where we're going to. So, rounding off, saying that you can unmute yourself and just say hi. This is the end of the training. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you, Davis. Thank you, Deji. Thank you, Mercy, and thank you, Mrs. Yemi. Everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, ma. We appreciate. Happy birthday once again.
So much, sis. We appreciate the session.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I'm very grateful for the feedback, and you have encouraged me to go and do more. So, bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you, Mrs. Adeyemo. Good to see you. Please keep in touch, ma. Sister Yemi, God bless you. Appreciate you, ma. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Happy birthday, Sister Diola.
Thank you.
Happy brother Dedio.
Yeah, it's not home, ma.
And your beautiful children and your mom.
Yes,
we
thank you,
appreciate what you are doing, and it's really a blessing to be part of it.
Oh, thank you.
So keep in touch. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy birthday. Many, many happy returns.
Yes, ma. Yours is next now. Happy birthday in advance too.
Yeah, you can remember my birthday.
Yes,
that's
I know it's always close to mine.
Yes, 10th of August on Tuesday. Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations in advance.
So good to see your beautiful face.
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch by God's grace.
Yes,
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.